Jackson Pollock once said, "Painting is self-discovery. Every good artist paints what he is." Ever since I was a freshman in high school and had taken my first art class, I instantly fell in love with art. Painting with acrylic and watercolor paints became my new favorite hobby. Not only did painting give me a creative outlet, but it also let me express myself through images instead of words. So today in my demonstration, I am going to show you how to paint a slice of watermelon with watercolor. Here are the materials you will need to complete the project. Obviously, you're going to need watercolor paint, which can be bought at Walmart or the dollar store. You're going to need some paint brushes of various sizes too. You'll need watercolor paper as well. You can use any size paper you want, and it can be any brand. Lastly, you'll need a cup of water, paper towel, and a large flat surface that can easily be cleaned. Now we can start painting. First, you're going to get your brush wet with water and dampen the area we will want to paint. Since we'll be painting a slice of watermelon, you will want to draw a simple triangle with a rounded bottom. After applying the water, get the watercolor slightly damp and start to apply the color to the paper. This is the edible part of the fruit, so you'll want to use a combination of pinks and reds. There's no specific order in which you apply the colors because they will eventually all blend together. You can add as much or as little paint as you want. If the colors aren't blending how you want them to, you can simply add more water to the paper or use a wet paintbrush to swirl the colors together. I let my paper dry for a little bit, then I add more paint. Watercolors always dry lighter, so if you want your picture to look darker, just add a little more color to it. As you can see, I added a little more color to my painting to make the pinks and reds more vibrant. I also blended the colors together a little more. This is to help spread the color around the paper and get a little more of an even look. Once I'm content with the color of the fruit, I will let it dry. While the pink part of the picture dries, we can start to work on the green part of the watermelon. After washing off your brush, get a lighter green color and draw a simple line around the bottom of the pink triangle, but leave space in between them. Don't get too close because you don't want the pink and green to mix. After drawing the initial line, I added more water to the paper. The more water you add, the easier it is to blend the colors together. I added a little more of the light green paint to make the color bolder. Then I started to add darker greens to make the picture more realistic. You can add the greens in any order and any place you want. I added a darker green first, then I added the darkest green. The reason I wipe off my brush sometimes is because I want to get rid of some of the excess water on my brush. I wanted more paint and less of the water. Like with the pink part of the picture, I do a little blending of the colors. This will make sure the colors look even and that all of the area has some of each color on it. When you are content with the final color of the green part, the pink part should be dry. If it is dry, start to add in some black seeds with a narrower brush. I painted on little black triangles of different sizes for my seeds. Make sure the brush is not too wet or you will leave puddles instead of triangles. This is an instance where you want more paint than water. If the paper is still wet, wait a few more minutes until it is dry. If you start to draw the seeds with the paper wet, the black will mix with the pink and it will make your picture look all muddy. Another tip is making sure you don't put too many seeds on the paper. Otherwise, the picture might look crowded. Also, if you don't like the amount you added, you can't take them off. So stop as soon as you think there are enough seeds. If you think the seeds are too light in color, wait until they dry, then go back and add more color to it. The last part of the painting is decorating around the watermelon. You can be as creative as you want for this part. I decided to do a splatter pattern. I take a piece of paper towel and fold it a few times. This will help make a barrier to keep the splatters away from the painting. Choose any color you want and get it really wet. Then dip a brush into the paint and start to tap the brush gently. This way the paint will fall off your brush in random spots. You don't want to tap it too hard or you might end up getting paint all over the place. To get larger drops, hold the paintbrush closer to the paper and get more paint on it. And to get smaller drops, hold the brush farther away from the paper and don't put as much paint on it as you did before. Move the paintbrush and paper towel barrier to get the splatters all over the picture. Don't worry about smearing your painting with the paper towel either. The worst thing that could happen is the water gets absorbed and the color lightens a little bit. Put as many splatters on your painting as you want. This is your artwork, so make it unique in how you want it. I decided to add another splatter color, which was blue, to help add contrast to the picture. You could do the same thing if you want, or you could just leave it with pink or orange or any color that you chose. Once everything is dry, you have a beautiful picture that was simple to make. Thank you for watching my video, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching my tutorial on how to paint a watermelon with watercolor paints.